The dashboards in OMS rely on ETW event data to be present. For this data to be shipped off to OMS, we need to configure event providers in our ARM template. We can then deploy our template to create a cluster. Then we can deploy our application on that cluster. The application will start generating events, and these events can be monitored by OMS. We can validate the deployments by using the Azure portal, the Service Fabric Explorer, and the OMS portal. After deploying our Service Fabric cluster that has been configured with OMS, your resource group will look similar to this. Besides the common cluster resources you have seen earlier, you can also see some OMS-related resources: Fabric Cluster OMS, Security, and Service Fabric OMS. By looking at the details of the VM scale set, you can see that I've configured the Azure Diagnostics extension to include ETW event providers that are specific to my application. The first ones are always there. They are provided by Service Fabric actors, Service Fabric services. But you can also see my company services, and these represent the event sources that I have in my code and I've added myself. As a destination table, I have selected the ETW event table. And now I can configure OMS to look at those tables and index the data from them. You can see that I've deployed one application that is called Unreliable Services. This is a special application I have created myself, and it continuously generates errors, so OMS will show some interesting data. By clicking on the analytics solution, I can already see some interesting information about my cluster. You can see that I have configured 3 nodes for the security and audit, and that my Service Fabric log analytics solution is also working. Straight from the Azure portal, I can already see the most important events that are occurring within my cluster and my application. Again, this is a special application that generates lots of errors all the time, so don't be alarmed by the amount of errors you see. You can see notable issues that require attention, but you can also see reliable service events and actor events. These are generally informative events. The application events contain the events that were generated specifically from my application itself. The names of these event sources correspond with the names I have configured in the ARM template earlier. By clicking on the OMS portal button, I navigate to a different portal page that has more information about my cluster. You can already see the summary right here on my dashboard. You can see that my workspace currently has 4 data sources connected. 3 of those are servers, and 1 of those is the storage account I use to capture my ETW event data in. By clicking on Settings, you can see that this account is properly connected. By clicking on the Service Fabric solution, I will be navigating to the Service Fabric Analytics. You see the same view that you got in the Azure portal earlier, and it gives me a nice overview of what is currently happening inside my cluster. When I navigate to the Service Fabric Explorer, I can show you that my unhealthy application is currently generating all kinds of errors. The errors that my application is generating appear as warnings on the Service Fabric Explorer portal. You can see that after some time the fabric will heal itself and becomes healthy again. But after some time my application will start generating errors again, and so these will appear as warnings on the dashboard page. These events are captured, stored in the storage account to be indexed by OMS later. You have now learned how to create a cluster that emits its diagnostics data into a storage account, and how OMS can be used to access that storage account to generate a nice dashboard which will give you an instant overview of your cluster's health and the applications running on it.